vibrating jig, the bladed jig, but let's call it what it is. It's the jackhammer. I mean, that is the #1 chatterbait there is. I mean, everyone throws it. It's awesome, it catches fish, I love it. But there is a new contender from Berkley, the Slobberknocker. So today I'm gonna actually fish both of them. This is a 3/8, this is a half, but I do have a half. But I just wanted to kind of run through some of the differences, just the initial first look at these two baits. You know, this one, best of show at ICAST. It's kind of a unique design. I mean, it still has the same action as what they say, the same vibration, but a few different little tweaks. So let's start with the proven jackhammer. Okay, so the jackhammer, I'm gonna crack this one open. So some of the things that are great about the jackhammer is it's got a hand-tied skirt and awesome color. So that's for the durability. It's also got a very good keeper that keeps your soft plastic secure. Comes with these little red hook keepers. Make sure you take those off before you fish. Ask me how I know that it won't catch a fish. But it's got an awesome big stout hook. And the thing that I like about the jackhammer compared to other chatterbaits is it just starts to kick immediately. You know, that's something you'll see when you're fishing it. You know, if you go back to the old original one, you kind of have to feather it and work it and get it going. Jackhammer, you just cast and reel. It's what makes it so good, and also what makes it pretty expensive. You know, these aren't cheap, but they catch fish. They catch them in all seasons, all over the place. It is an awesome, awesome bait. So let's go over to the Slobberknocker. So the first thing I noticed on this, and you know, I've seen this before, but you know, in hand, this is the first time I've actually gonna tie one on. The blade is a completely different design, or where the blade connects. So part of what makes all Z-Man chatterbaits is that direct line connection, so you get that extra sound. It actually looks like the blade is attached by a little rod there, so it's kind of unique, but it should have a totally different sound is my first thought on that. The other thing is this skirt material stinks. It's power bait infused, you know, so that's pretty cool. You know, it has that. I just looking at it, the skirt kind of looks a little bit more crinkled, so maybe it's a thicker skirt or something, but you know, compared to the jackhammer, maybe it's just the packaging. I mean, who knows? But honestly, that probably doesn't matter when you're reeling the bait in pretty quickly. But we'll see how it holds up. Now on the hook, oh yeah, this is just like that. It's a big stout flipping hook. You know, this is their Fusion 19. I'm sure this is the, I don't know, it might be some kind of owner or a Japanese brand. I don't really know what brand hook it is, but you can see both of them are big stout hooks. Now onto the keeper. It's a molded keeper, so it's gonna be a little bit of weight there, but it looks like it would really hold some plastic pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fish these two baits. I'm gonna grab a 1/2 ounce version of this so I have a fair direct comparison. And I'm going to put the same exact trailer on it. I think I'm gonna put a Z-Man Razor Shads or a Yamamoto Zaco. Those are two of my favorites. So whatever it is, I'm gonna put two of the exact same trailers on there. All right, just about to head into the ramp. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the two baits. I fished them a lot today. You know, I fished around grass, you know, standing timber, some rock, you know, all the good places for a chatterbait. Unfortunately, I didn't catch any on either, and I think it was just a tough bite, you know. I tried a lot of other baits too. They didn't catch anything either until I went out deep. So can't blame either bait for it, but I'll give you a couple thoughts on the baits. So the Slobberknocker is a very good vibrating jig. It's a copy, we all know that, but they did a really good job. Berkley has a huge team, so I'm sure they spent lots of time trying to replicate that vibration, and they almost did it. They're very similar, and what I did today was going back and forth between the two baits. You know, I fished one for a while, cut it off, put the other one on. Same thing, you know, I had the same bait or trailer on the back, the Z-Man Razor Shads. Now, one thing I noticed is it felt like, and this is just, you know, from feel, there's no scientific evidence or anything, the jackhammer has a little bit tighter action. You know, both of them kick very good. They're both very, they do what they're designed to do. They start vibrating right away. Now, one difference that I see was around wood, and I would say that I would give the Slobberknocker a slight edge. You know, both of them hung up, but it felt like the Slobberknocker didn't hang up as much. Again, you can't replicate the exact same cast. You know, there's so many variables, so that's just kind of my feeling from it. Now, on the other hand, I felt like the jackhammer did a little bit better in grass. So again, same thing. You know, you can't replicate the exact same cast. There's so many variables, but it felt like the Slobberknocker got grass on it, and which you want to be able to rip it free, but it felt like this one came back with grass more often than the jackhammer. So again, those could just be coincidences, but they're very similar action. Again, I would say the jackhammer is a little bit tighter action, a little bit tighter vibration. Jackhammer is awesome, but the Slobberknocker is a great bait too. So I can't pick one or the other. You know, if I had to pick, I would have to just say jackhammer, just because I've caught so many fish on it. We know it works. You know, the Slobberknocker is still new, but they're both very good. So I would say either one will be a good option for you. But if you want to get the sure thing with the original, the jackhammer, if you want to try something new, Slobberknocker.